Welcome back to another episode of the Ready Set podcast, where the stressed are depressed. My name is Ricky.
My name's Angus.
Steven.
This is Amy.
So, life sucks, right? We have to go to work.
Work sucks, but I need the bucks.
We do need the bucks. But what's worse than going to work is having a bad coworker.
Oh, God.
All right, Steven, I know you have a lot of stories. Share it. It's time to
Take
let
the
it
mic
out.
for the next 3 hours.
You know what I don't like is...
Don't call them out by their name, but
No
you
names.
Can, you can say
He's watching.
person A.
I just don't like... No offense to union workers.
Oh.
I don't like the system.
Okay.
Okay, what grinds your gears?
What grinds my gear is I used to work for this company and it's a union environment.
Mm-hmm.
But I was their manager. But when you manage with somebody in a unionized environment, they have a really bad structure where you have different positions, you have different roles in your department, but one person, it's always a one person, very romantic, will say, I have more seniority than so-and-so, so I ain't doing that. But it's just so hard to manage, and HR doesn't...
Is that exactly how they say it?
Yeah, she talks
I
like...
think I was like that.
She's like, I've been here for 37 years. I'm like, oh, girl, you should retire now, man. Let the young people have some chances, right? Sorry, got a little too into it. But
So you think she should quit?
yeah, I think she just quit or retired.
Do you think she knows who she is if she sees this?
Yeah, I don't think she's not technological enough.
All right.
One of the
Thank
examples
God.
was she gets paid a good amount of money and she doesn't know how to open a PDF. So
Oh my God. So she's ancient is what you're telling me.
she's a dinosaur.
Dude.
Society has progressed, and she could not keep up.
She's not willing to keep up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not willing to.
She's not willing to because
She's got her seniority.
So she's safe.
yeah,
Like she's safe. Like she's not gonna get fired.
And the way a silver lining
exactly.
to protect the older generations.
Okay.
Exactly.
But imagine this. 40 years down the line.
I
you're
know,
gonna be-
right?
We're there.
Do you want to be like, I don't want
I
to
don't
keep
wanna do this.
learning?
Yeah, you've been
Don't you
learning
think
for
it
the past
benefits?
60 years.
40 years down the line, I wish half of the time I get to be retired and not worry about opening the latest version of Adobe PDF.
But don't you think that it, allows older people to
Stay in the
have
workforce?
stay in the workforce, have some kind of stability, especially when they have a family, right?
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you have some kind of revenue coming in. So
And they're experienced.
yeah, don't you think it's,
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but it's just that she's got to do stuff, right?
okay,
That too.
okay. So if you were to change the system, how would you change it?
How would I change it?
Yeah, you're the person that designs this whole union system where, like, if you were to scrap it, redo it again,
No more PDF.
no more PDFs.
No, keep the PDF.
How would you do this?
Keep the PDF, keep the spreadsheet. We need a spreadsheet. We all know we need a spreadsheet.
Let's make Canada great again, okay? Tell them how to do it.
We're going to start our nation with one PDF at a time.
So you want to scrap all unions, is what you're saying?
No, I think that the system needs to change. You seniority shouldn't be what determine what you should do or what you should not do. You have your role and responsibility, just like any other job. Union or not union, but you need to have, you need to keep up with the basic, right?
So seniority is the basis of most, if not all, unions. So if they're not going by seniority, what would they go by?
Skill set.
Skill set?
Skill set, right?
So then,
If you look at like municipality, like as a government organization, a lot of times they will have seniority system, it's unionized.
Yes.
But they also need to go through examination so you're qualified to do certain jobs.
Right.
I think that's a good job.
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, within the union, there's different roles, and then within those roles, there's different levels of supervisory skills.
Yeah.
But then, let's say everybody's in the same job pool. Everyone's, I don't know, what is this example, like desk worker? But everybody is doing the same spreadsheet or PDF file or whatever data entry.
Yeah.
So then it doesn't really matter for their skill set because they're all doing the same job, right?
Yeah.
So the only way to go by rank when everyone's doing the same clickety clack on a keyboard is seniority.
Yeah, but
That's what makes you stay in the job.
yeah, it's how you staying with you. Just look at all the boomers, right? Sorry, boomers, but like, look at my parents, for example. Like, they're in a gap where like before computer and after computer.
Yeah.
Can you imagine at any point they
I
keep up with
know.
the computer? They're like, hey, double click,
Yeah.
double click.
Yeah.
Like
That's so
they're not gonna-
difficult.
they're not gonna be able to. They're still in the workforce,
All right. Yes.
right?
The thing is, are you supposed to like get proper training at work too to keep up?
Yeah,
Oh, a lot of companies do offer that.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
But you need to participate in that, right?
Make it mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough thing because I worked at a lot of software companies, and then one of the roadblocks would be like they cannot even implement the technology because they can't get everybody on board.
all up to
Nobody
speed.
wants to learn new technology. You know, that's the thing. Like, how do you get the entire company to jump in and learn something new?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Hey, that's the same with normal culture. Like we have new terms like Sigma Riz, and we aren't on board with it because we're older than that,
For real,
right?
For real.
So by comparison, by that logic, a lot of older boomers, they can't use spreadsheets or do different computer skills.
Technology.
Yeah, because it's advanced, and they're like we are also not willing to learn what Ohio Sigma
Riz.
means.
So as long as you're open to learning, unless the company mandatory
yes.
forces you to learn,
Yes.
then it's okay to keep your level.
And if it's important as a part of your job to learn it too.
Yeah. If you
Do
think
you
about-
really need the spreadsheet?
Well, if you out take it outside the office, like some trace job, like people been fixing cars for years, like combustion engines been around for more than 100 years, and now we have EVs, right? EVs are reality, like it's here, it's commonized. You can't just say, "Hey, man,
I don't want to work on it.
yeah, you know,
I hate batteries.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
We don't do batteries.
I went to PCIT, I got my training. They promised me this much money for, I got family feed. Elon Musk, MacLeod 2.0 turbo. That's not gonna happen, right? Like they have no other way to go. Like no matter unionized or not unionized, right? It's just a reality.
Got to keep up.
Yeah, there's no one to whine to or whatever to, right?
So for these kind of tests, should it be forced or reinforced every year? You should be taking these to make sure that everyone can do their job, make sure that the skill set is there.
So you're a fan of recertification?
I am.
That
Just
makes
like a
sense.
driver license, you know?
You'll,
Yeah.
what is it
Can you
like?
still see?
Yeah. Can you
No, but I can still drive.
It's the reaction time.
Colorblind.
Yeah, exactly.
like a lot of what is it, chiropractors or RMTs or whatever, they have to pay recertification to the college that oversees that type of
board.
therapy,
Yeah.
right? The
same
board.
with like first aid. I think it expires within like
3
what,
years.
like
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying everything should expire and renew?
Yeah, I mean the guy's heart is not changed, but like first aid, you forget things. You don't.
Right.
Yeah, true. I only remember throwing a blanket on and then slapping them. Can I call an ambulance for you?
When I first got my first aid, I was so proud of myself. Man, I'm gonna go save some life.
Yeah.
Next day, I was driving by. Some old guy was at the bus stop. He was like on the ground.
Oh, damn.
Throw a blanket on him. Roll him over.
I got off the car and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna learn what I."
Yeah.
I was like 16. I was like, "I'm gonna like."
Roll this guy into a recovery position.
Exactly.
I say,
I'm gonna save his life.
"Hey, can I help you?"
Can I help? What's your name?
Yeah, and then he said, "Urgh," and I'm like, "Oh,
My name is Steven. I'm a certified
Like,
first aid responder.
And then he said, "Urgh," and I said,
I guess I can't save you
"Is that
back.
a consent?
Roll him over.
Let me call 911."
Oh, this job is too hard. I have to let you back out.
That's not a
I
consent.
don't have my seniority.
Oh my god.
But yeah, circling back.
He needs to
Back
be
coworker.
recertified.
Bad coworker. Have you had any bad worker?
I had a bad manager.
Oh.
I think I called her out before.
did,
right?
yes,
I did.
yeah.
I'm gonna call her out again. I don't like her. So I had my first job. It was during the recession too, so it's really hard to find a job. And this manager really did the whole high school system where it's like, oh, you're the popular kids, I'll be friends with you. You're not popular, I'm gonna make your life hell. So I was the one that's, I was very timid, shy, first job. I just want to do my work. That's it. I'm gonna do a good job. That's all I want. But she has like a whole group that she likes, and I was the quiet one, so she always picked on me. And she, to the point where I went to her office like maybe once every week. She would call me, go in the office, and she would like kind of blame me for something. And it got to a point where she gave everyone a raise except for me.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I like filed message to HR. HR didn't really do anything. HR messaged her and told her to deal with her problem. And she messaged me and be like, hey, don't message HR. If there's any problem, come to
Come
me.
talk to me.
And I was like, I did. At a certain point, I was like, wow, this sucks. And I wanted to quit my job to work at Starbucks and just to like work my flow. I'm like, it's better than this.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, she sucked.
Yeah.
I hate her. I hate her so much.
But you looked her up on LinkedIn
I did.
and you found her new employment.
I did. And I can't believe she still has a job. That's the thing. Like, she's one of the worst. And she didn't really do much. She would come in maybe during half day and she just sits in the office doing nothing.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm like, what's your job? Basically, the team pulled the weight and made her look good. And man, she sucks.
She's the one on the chariot, and everyone's
She is.
yeah.
She's terrible, man. She like picked on me. It was bad. Oh man.
So sucks.
And then one time I wanted to take like a week off, right? So I told her, I gave the coordinator a heads up. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be gone for a week. Just a heads up, so you can kind of make sure that the task is distributed right. And then the coordinator, I guess, talked to her, and she got mad. So he told the coordinator to give me more stuff before the end of my, before I take off. And then like when I refreshed my task list, it was like 8 more things. And I was like, what the hell is this? I'm like, and I messaged him like, hey, so I just saw a bunch of stuff popped on my list. What's up with that? And he's like, we really need these to be done. It's like
Before
high
you go.
priority before you go. And I was like, well, there's no way I can get it done. These are like very important assets. And he's like, hero assets too. I'm like, it takes a couple of days to do one. And he's like, oh, okay. And he told the manager, and the manager told me to go to her office. And she's like, I heard there's a problem. I'm like, there is a problem.
You
I
are the
can't do it.
problem.
I was like, I can't do this. This is impossible. And she's like, no, you're going to have to get it done.
That's some workplace bullying.
Yeah.
It is. It's bullying. Yeah. And I like reach out to HR and like everything. They don't care. That company sucks.
Did you finish it all?
I did.
Wow, you should.
Props to you.
No, but then my one of my like higher ups, he just told me like just do a half-ass job. Just throw some color really quick, very basic, and then that's it. But
Just
I took
get
a
it
lot
done.
of pride in
Yeah,
my work.
that's the
sometimes, so I was
thing.
like, I want to do a good job.
Yeah.
But that's when I learned if a company does not support you, you just kind of do a little basic job, and that's it.
Wow.
So
But then again, like, I think what we do at each job, it really links to our reputation.
Right.
it does. It does.
Right?
Your own work ethic.
Yeah, like I work in health and safety and compliance, and then the field is so small.
Oh.
Like you go to another company, and then you know like another person's predecessor is this person, and
Yeah, you can't have a bad rep out there.
yeah,
You
like
can't.
Yeah.
Jenny and I, we work like different field, but like compliance wise. And she's like, "Oh, do you know this person? Used to be from your company." And I looked up this person, and then like nothing bad that he did. I just I'll look up his work. Like, oh, okay, it's like this is the quality of this guy's work. I don't even know the guy, and I already know like his level of competency. Nothing bad, but just something you can look up, right? But if you do a half-ass job, and then 10 years down the road, somebody look at this like, oh, Angus, this guy doesn't give a shit.
I'll be like, no.
Just trying to go on a vacation. Yeah. Trying to go on 1 week vacation.
Yeah, I'll be like, this guy I'll be like, I didn't do it. That's yeah, dude, I get mad. So it's such a that's when I feel like you have to fight for what's right, and
Yes.
you don't have to do it if they force you to do it. But that was my worst experience. I still hate
Yeah,
it.
what if your job's on the line though?
Yeah.
Jobs on the line. So I was willing to quit my job to go to work at Starbucks. That's how fed up I was. She kept dangling the carrot saying that I would get a raise. But she was like, oh, we have to figure some numbers out. Come back in like a couple months, like 2 months later. I'm like, hey, so what's happening with the raise? And she's like, oh, it's like, we don't know yet. Come back in like 2 months. Just keep pushing it. She did it for like a full year.
Whoa.
So like everyone had a raise, and then I was the only one that didn't get a raise. And I even asked her, can I just change teams to a different project?
Right.
And she's like, no. And I'm like, new person. I don't like you.
Now she's on a podcast.
Man, I hate her.
She traumatized you.
She traumatized me.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew.
But hey, builds character.
it does build character.
And
A
now
lot of
you
hate.
know.
A lot of hate.
Then that's a tough
I
part
really don't
because
like her.
yeah.
It does build character though. I'm definitely a better person now.
And you know what you look out for.
I do. I don't want to be used
Yeah. And abused.
and abused.
Maybe he likes a little bit of that.
Maybe just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just at home.
Have you had any story, Amy?
For me, I think I've been micromanaged before, where
Those are the
just
worst.
on my back all day. Like, tell me what you're doing today. Give me a report on what you did today. And then even when we're having like a meeting on Zoom, she would see my inbox and be like, why do you have emails that you haven't read yet? I'm just like, I was like, well, those are not important. She's like, I would clear my inbox.
Wow.
But sometimes, you read it and you put it back to unread because it's
Yes, still have to work on it. Yeah. And sometimes there's just spam, right? You're just like, we'll work on deleting it later. But like things like that, you're just like, get off
Wow.
my back.
You can always right click and say read all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. Before our meeting.
yeah, but then you lose all your
I know
like
you need to track what you've read.
your mental bookmark's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
We all manage our email differently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that because it was like so many emails. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, there's no way I can read it.
Exactly.
And I like scroll really fast, and I'm like, I think it's good enough. And I like click and I read all. I'm like, oh, pretty good. You caught up.
Yeah.
I don't do it anymore.
Does a hard day's work?
The first hour of the day.
Pretty good.
Oh, man, Outlook's no joke.
It's a lot of emails though.
I know, right?
But that was micromanage. I know micromanage is the worst. But don't you feel that kind of motivates you a little bit?
Doesn't want to be. It kills my spirit.
Oh, because it's spirit. Yo, this is one guy. What can I say? He's okay. This is one guy we worked with, kind of high position, and he was kind of unhinged a little bit. A lot of people. There was a lot of complaints filed against him at the company. One of the most unhinged things he'd done is that he took someone else's keyboard and he just smacked it on the desk, and all the keyboards like flew everywhere. And he's like, and he was like laughing, and then after he just left.
Oh, this guy's wild.
Wow.
This guy's crazy,
Does not
dude.
belong in an office environment.
Kind of mental issues.
Yo, this guy is insane. Like when I did an interview and he was in it, he told me that like there's OT in this project. Like right off the bat, it's like I expect everyone to like stay late and do the work, and I'm like, wow.
I recently heard a story like that.
That guy's a hard ass. And yeah, he's the worst person to work with. He micromanages, kind of like what you said.
Yeah.
Man.
And there's one time I was creating something, and he told me to go to his desk, and he's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's a rock." And I was like, so he's like, "Why'd you do this?" He's like, "Why'd you create it like this?" I'm like, "Cause you told me to create it." It's like, whoa, you could have created like just like, you could have do one or two variations like instead of a bunch. I was like, okay, in my head, I'm like, you could have said it nicely, man.
I know.
Why make me answer your question when I don't know? I'm like, it's so dumb. But he would make people work like overtime like crazy. But then he got fired after.
Good riddance.
Wow.
Good riddance. Then he started his own company apparently. And then I think it flopped.
Nice.
Nice. Good riddance.
Good riddance.
Good riddance.
Yeah, I had a boss like that too. Like she'll do, like she's like on a roll and everything. Like you look at her LinkedIn, it's like HON like throughout, like from high school to her master, like everything on. Like she's really she tagged that to her pride. But when she managed, she's like, hey, here's some job for you to do. I'm like, oh, honey, yeah, I can make this in like 6 minutes. I don't need 40 hours a week to do this job, right? But I just sit there and do it.
Yeah.
And then so I just shut up and just keep doing it. And then she's like, oh, why don't you come in at like 6:30? I see your car at parking lot at 6:30. I was like, there's no parking space before, because we start at 7. There's no parking space if I don't come in early. She's like, oh, why don't you just come upstairs to social? I'm like, I don't want to see you, right?
Oh yeah.
And then when we leave, I leave at like 3:30 straight, because I got commitment. I got
On
things
the
to do,
dot,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta walk my dog before the sun goes down, right? And then her little minions will be like, hey Steven, why do you always leave on time? And I'm like, oh, I gotta walk my dog. Park goes at 5. It takes me 45 minutes to get home. I need at least an hour with this dog. He's an active dog. And then the minion goes up to this boss and says, Oh my God. He did that was just because he wanted to walk his dog. And I flip. I'm like, what if it's a human child?
Yeah.
Right? It's a life for life, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't even have kid. Why you talk like that? And I just like, and then there's nothing I can do, right? And she is there. She doesn't give me work. So I just do like 6-hour work. And then she's like, oh, you have to respect the legal writers. So once you do it, send it to them. I'm like, legal writers? Like, are they like replaced by ChatGPT? She's like, yesterday? Like, yeah, but like that was so bad. But eventually, like, she laid me off, and like she's like, "Oh, you're incapable for your job."
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I guess it's a blessing in disguise, though.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with that type of person.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And eventually, she got fired too.
That's what matters.
There it is.
I tried to hunt her down on what she does.
I'll drop on LinkedIn.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Those are the best parts when you're like, I wonder what that person's doing. And when they're still working, you're like, how do you still have your job?
I know. Right?
Yeah.
You always remember like the really awful managers, right?
And teachers.
And teachers.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Awful teachers, man. It's the
It's just
same
like
thing.
another episode.
What about you, Ricky?
For me, I used to work at a warehouse for Ford, and at one area they were spraying like a bed liner for the back of their trucks. And so I've always worked like more physical jobs, and it was nothing really much to complain about, but other than the lack of occupational health and safety there. Wow.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
It was one of the guys would be spraying bed liner, and it's a sort of a coating. It's like a hard plastic coating that goes on the back of trucks.
It's called plastic.
Exactly, yeah. But
You don't wanna inhale
they do
that.
it without wearing any respirator.
Oh, God.
So they were just breathing all of that in, and a lot of us would decline that work.
Yeah.
and
Oh, my God.
then they would just force us to do it.
Yeah.
Or be in that vicinity while they're doing it. So it was really shitty.
pretty bad.
After a few months of doing that, one of the guys who was always doing it, he started coughing up blood. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot.
But
Yo, that's freaking crazy, dude.
but
Can't you get sued for that?
Good.
probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just go through work safe.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we need to go
god.
watch. But yeah, good old days.
How long were you there for?
5 months.
5 months. Oh, yeah. Dude. Damn. Yo, good thing you got out.
I know.
But yeah, everything was good. I don't have that many awful manager bosses that I could think of. I think I just blocked them all out from everyone.
Block them all out. That's the way to go. Yeah.
We because I work in an environment where like our employee have to wear respirators.
Oh,
And instead of people asking for a respirator, we force people to wear a respirator. Mm-hmm. But one of the requirements, you need to be cleanly shaven.
yes, exactly.
That become an issue. You're like, well, no, like, why should I be cleanly shaven? What about religious? And what about this and that? You have one person, like 90% of people are compliant. They understand that you don't want silica, you don't want asbestos going into your lung. But there's only one guy. There's always one or two guys that says, but it's all right.
That's a survival of the fittest.
What if you have religious?
I guess that one has to go.
What if you have religious
or medical issues.
Yeah. Then we say, well, no, then we can give you a different job. We can give you
Yeah.
No, but I love this job.
What?
Oh, dude, that's
That does not trump health and safety.
No.
Yeah, I said, well, you're the safety guy. You should come up with something else. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not 3M. So,
Dang.
but,
How do you deal with that? Do you just let them do the thing then?
well, we have pappers where like you just dress up like it's almost like an astronaut.
Yeah.
And then you have them power a respirator.
Uh,
But the thing is that there are instances where the battery runs out and you're 30 minutes in a really dusty area and you need to get out. And then the papper will tell you 6 minutes before battery run out, it'll warn you.
It's too
You need to
late.
get out from a confined space, from any technical area. So you need to have a reasonable time to put on another mask, even like an N95 or like a P95, something like that. And then they're saying that, then they'll say, well, when I take this off, I already inhale something. And we're saying, you can write a procedure where you can take it off and don't inhale and put this on. I'm not going to eliminate the hazard, but you minimize it. But my son is not going to recognize me without my beard. And I was like, okay, here comes another nonsense. Right? So,
Like,
Wow.
yeah. So I think for my job, a lot of it is like social aspect of things as well. It's not just by the book, right?
Yeah.
But there's always someone like that, though. Like,
Yeah, there's always people looking for loopholes.
yeah, and they don't want anything out of it. They just want to start shit.
Just start the
Oh my
podcast.
god.
Yeah.
Your job sounds stressful.
I
Dealing with
enjoy
these
it.
people.
Not like, well, you get to talk to people, and people
Yeah.
talk nonsense, and you get to come home and think about new nonsense, and you come back with it.
Were you able to convince them? Like, just be like, hey, you look great without a beard.
Yeah.
I do that.
Shave it.
You gotta ask his son to say that. I
start-
recognize you, Dad.
I start saying that, hey, once everyone's we implemented the no beer policy, hey, our average age group in our workplace, it's 20 years younger, right? So, yeah.
You just gotta keep telling him like, wow, you look so handsome without a beard.
you look
Just every day.
Yeah.
And suddenly he'll just be like, I am handsome without a beard. He just goes to the beard, starts shaving it off.
Exactly. The secret is you gaslight them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not wrong when it's for the
For their own good.
for their own good.
Uh-huh. So gaslighting is good.
I think it is good. Depending on what you do for it. If you're there to save lives, it is good. Actually, it is good when you're trying there to save lives. Is it bad? I don't think so. No. Gaslight is great. We're going to wrap it up here. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Put in the comments, do you have any worse experience when it comes to work? And how do you deal with really bad coworkers? Let us know. All our socials are in the link tree below. Click that. Everything's there. Hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll see everyone on the next one.
Bye.